In this lesson, you'll learn two beautiful ways to play You Belong to Me, using your choice of strumming or fingerpicking patterns. Now, I'll be using my tenor with low G tuning throughout this lesson, but feel free to follow along with high G tuning as well. We'll be playing this song in the key of C, so perhaps some of the chords will be familiar to you, but maybe you'll learn a few new chords as well. So let's begin by taking a look at how to play the chords in this song. Our first chord is C. Here you can use either your ring finger or your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And then we have E minor. For E minor, we have our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and ring finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. Then we have F. For F, we have our index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string and our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Now moving from F to G7 sus4, we'll keep our index finger in place and we'll move our middle finger to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and we'll place down our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Then to move from G7 sus4 to G7, we'll keep our index finger and middle finger in place. We'll lift up our pinky and place down our ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Next we have F minor. For this chord we have our middle finger and index finger on the 1st fret of strings 2 and 4 and our pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And next we have G. For G we have our middle finger and index finger on the 2nd fret of strings 1 and 3 and our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Next we have A minor. Here we're covering the 2nd fret of the 4th string using our middle finger. And then to go from A minor to D minor 7, we'll keep our middle finger in place, and we're going to add our index finger to the 1st fret of the 2nd string, our ring finger to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and our pinky to the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Our next chord is C7. Here we're covering just the 1st fret of the 1st string with our index finger. And next we have D7. Here we're going to use a Hawaiian version of this chord. We're covering the 2nd fret of strings 2 and 4 with our middle finger and index finger. And then our final chord is G augmented. Now in this song we move to G augmented from our G chord at the end of the chorus. So starting on G, there are two ways that we can form our G augmented chord. The first way is to keep our middle finger in place on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and then place down our pinky and ring finger on the 3rd fret of strings 2 and 3. And then the second way to form this chord is to use our index finger on the 1st string, and then our ring finger and middle finger on strings 2 and 3. So you can practice both ways and see which one you prefer. Now I have one more chord transition tip for you, going from D minor 7 to G7 sus4, which happens in the 4th line of the verses. So starting on D minor 7, to go to G7 sus4, we can simply lift up our middle finger to open up the 4th string and keep our other 3 fingers in place. To strum the song, we'll be using two strumming patterns, one that covers 4 beats and one that covers 2 beats. So let's begin by taking a look at our patterns and then how to apply them to the song. Here's our first strumming pattern, played on a C chord. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. The rhythm of this pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pattern 2 is much more simple as it only covers 2 beats, and we're going to play a down strum on each beat. 1, 2, 1, 2. To apply our strumming patterns to the song, we use pattern 1 on chords that appear in standard font, as these chords are held for 4 beats. We'll use pattern 2 on chords that appear in bold. These chords are held for 2 beats. And then the underlined chords are held for only 1 beat, so here we'll play just 1 down strum. Now let's walk through how to play the first verse. The first 4 chords appear in standard font, so we'll play pattern 1 on each of these chords, starting on C, and then E minor, and then we go to F in line 2, and then back to C. Now let's count the rhythm of lines 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In line 3 we go to an F chord in bold, so here we're changing to pattern 2, and then we go to F minor, and then our C and G chords are underlined, so we'll play 1 down strum on each of these chords. And then we go back to pattern 2 with A minor. And then in line 4 we go to D minor 7, and then G7 sus4, and then we end line 4 on our G7 chord, going back to pattern 1. So let's count the rhythm of lines 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's how these 4 lines sound at 84 beats per minute, which is the tempo that we'll use for the play-along after the lesson. Song, you can continue to apply pattern 1 to chords in standard font, pattern 2 to chords in bold, and play 1 down strum for chords that are underlined. If you're enjoying this lesson, please show my channel some love by giving this video a thumbs up. Now if you're returning to my channel, then welcome back, and if you're new here, then welcome. I'm Lara. I'm a musician and a composer, and I love to teach song tutorials and fingerstyle arrangements for all levels. If you'd like to support my teaching and my channel by joining my Patreon community, you'll gain access to hundreds of PDF downloads, including song sheets, fingerstyle tabs, and song books. The link is down below in the video description. For our fingerpicking version, we're also going to use 2 patterns. So let's jump right into these patterns and then how to apply them to the song. Here's our first fingerpicking pattern played on a C chord. The rhythm here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, pick this pattern, we'll use our thumb, index finger, middle finger, and ring finger on strings 4 down to 1. We'll start by picking strings 1 and 2 together. Then we'll pick strings 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, and we'll finish on the first string. Our second finger picking pattern covers only 2 beats. This pattern also begins by picking strings 1 and 2 together with our ring finger and middle finger. Then we'll pick the 4th string with our thumb, and we'll finish on the 3rd string with our index finger. To apply our finger picking patterns to the song, we'll use pattern 1 on chords that appear in standard font. These chords are held for 4 beats. We'll use pattern 2 on chords that appear in bold. These chords are held for only 2 beats. And then for the underlined chords that are held for only 1 beat, we'll pick all 4 strings together. So let's walk through how to play verse 1. The first 4 chords appear in standard font, so we'll play pattern 1 on each of these chords, starting with C, then E minor, then in line 2 we go to F, and then back to C. So let's count the rhythm of these first 2 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In line 3, we go to an F chord in bold, so we're switching to pattern 2. Then we go to F minor. And then for our C and G chords that are underlined, we'll pick all 4 strings together for 1 beat each. And then we go to A minor, playing pattern 2. Then in line 4, we go to D minor 7. Then G7 sus4. And then we finish on our G7 chord, going back to pattern 1. Now let's count the rhythm of lines 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'll play through these 4 lines for you at 84 beats per minute, which is the tempo that we'll use for the play along after the lesson. For the remainder of the song, you can apply pattern 1 to chords in standard font, pattern 2 to chords in bold, and for underlined chords, pick all 4 strings together for 1 beat. I'm curious to hear which version is your favorite for this song, the strumming or the finger picking. I'd love to hear from you below in the comments. Now we're moving into our play along, where you can play and sing the entire song along with me. I'm going to alternate between strumming and finger picking, but feel free to choose one or the other and use it throughout the whole song. 5, 6, 7, 8. from a tropic isle. Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Algiers. Send me photographs and souvenirs. Just remember, when a dream appears, you belong to me. I'll be so alone without you. Maybe you'll be lonesome too, and blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember, till you're home again, you belong to me. I'll be so alone without you. Maybe you'll be lonesome too, and blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember, till you're home again, you belong to me. I hope you've enjoyed learning these beautiful ways to play You Belong to Me. Have fun practicing, and thanks for watching.